Welcome back to Spilling the Tea to Juliet G on supremefmlive.ning.com. I am currently in conversation with Mr. Al Hamilton, MBE, founder of the Commonwealth Sports Awards. Now, Al, before we went to break, I mentioned that we're going to talk about your relationship with Frank Bruno. You have formed a really good relationship with Frank Bruno, and he talks very highly of you. Can you tell us how you met back in 1991?
I met Frank Bruno back in 1977.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I was dating his elder sister Faye, and I were going out at the time, and in fact we share a son, Nigel.
Okay.
Together. So while I was at the home one day, listening to some music, waiting for some food to be prepared and all that sort of thing, she came back to the room and said, my little brother is going to be coming home from school, from holidays, tomorrow, or whatever it was. And I thought nothing of it. So all of a sudden, tomorrow came or whatever, and I heard a knock on the door. And in came in this 6-footer, 13.5 stone little brother. I thought to myself, my goodness me. This is
you was expecting somebody small, innit?
Yeah, the 6 foot odd. Anyway, so that was my first introduction to Frank Bruno. He heard then, he had dabbled with a little bit of boxing that over in Wandsworth, but nothing too serious. He was a little bit of a naughty boy, so his mother got him sent away to a place called Oak Hall, a straightening out place. It wasn't a borstal, but it was a school where you had to conform to certain rules and regulations and that, which is what he needed, a little bit of a bully himself. And he now found himself being bullied by, people who were obviously older than him and tougher than him and so forth. So anyway, so he found out from Faye that I knew people like John Conte, St. Frankie Lucas, Bunny Grant, Bunny Sterling, Bunny Johnson, all of those well-known boxers. So he was like, Al, man, those guys, how can I meet them? They get me, youngster wanting, all the energy that goes with that age. So I said, all right, I tell you what I'll do. I'll take it to the gym with me one of these days. So anyway, I went to the gym and he got smitten by it. Long and the short of it is that he decided he wanted to box. But there was a local boxing club down the road from where he lived in Wandsworth. And he wanted to go there. He'd been there, when he was about 10, 11, something like that. He was about, at this stage, he was about 15, getting off of 16 years old. So I said, no, you wouldn't, I wouldn't want you to go there. So he said, where do you want me to go? I said, the club that Frankie Lucas went to. But that's all the way in Croydon, Bert. I said, yeah, because you're going to have to make an effort to go there. So that's why I want you to go there. At the time, the Mackenzie brothers, Clinton, Winston, Duke, were all there. And I knew them very well. So I just knew he would get there were bigger brothers to him, they would look up. The bottom line is I felt it was the right place for him. It turned out to be so. He went there, and in 1980, he became the ABA champion at heavyweight, the youngest heavyweight champion in the history of British boxing. Al Hamilton was part of that journey.
Because you was also, because when he was when he was an amateur, you made him transition from amateur to professional boxing. Is not so? Or you were behind it?
Well, that's another messy situation. However,
okay.
His amateur days, he represented Young England. Very proud of that. And he also avenged the one defeat he had from Joe Crystal, the Irish international, who he lost to in his third amateur fight, and who he destroyed in his ninth amateur fight when we got him sparring with Bunny Johnson and all those, and got him well prepared for it. In fact, the quotation from the Dublin Times is this: a bronzed Frank Bruno came into Dublin's fair city tonight and shattered the dreams and aspirations of our own, Joe Crystal, knocked him out in 2 rounds. And so that, again, that was something I felt very special about, because he was worried about going back to face Joe Crystal. And I had a situation with him where I sort of just, because Frank Bruno is not a natural individual fighter. He's a warrior. He's unlike say a Lloyd Honeyghan, who is let him bring him come, I will knock him out. That sort of person. Frank Bruno worries. What's going to happen? What if so and so? Am I good enough? All that sort of thing. So I said to him, I said, turn on the big light, man. So he got up there. I said, take off your shirt, man. Take off the top. I said, take off your top, man. Let me. He said, look at that body what God give you. And I said, let's go over to Ireland and throw some lick in the man's backside, man. Just come on.
Is that what you said to him?
He needed that kind of talking to. You get me? So he went there, knocked him out in 2 rounds. So I was very pleased with that. And we had a very, very tough opponent in the final, a guy called Rudy Peak. Sadly, Rudy Peak wasn't treated properly and he committed suicide. But that's, again, another story.
Oh, wow.
We knew it was going to be difficult, but I had him sparring with people like Joe Warmy, Lottie Mowali, Frankie Lucas, all the professional fighters. And we had him in the best shape of his life for that fight. And he just about hung on to win the ABA title in 1980. And then, of course, the guys with the big checkbooks started sniffing around, I told him, basically, you should stay free. Just listen to all the offers, and then we'll determine. The long and the short of it, he got in love with because he really did like this man, a man called Burt McCarthy, who decided to wanted to when he goes to go pro, he would go with him or whatever. The long and the short of it is that he invited me for a meeting with Burt McCarthy. We went to this plush hotel up in Hampstead, this restaurant in Hampstead, in his brand new Mercedes. And, of course, poor Frank Bruno was blown away. He was touching every little knob that was on the vehicle. Oh, Bert, I want to do this. Oh, poor thing. It was just smitten. So anyway, we're sitting, had something to eat, and I went to the bathroom. And I came back, I saw a bit of paper with a pen, wanting Frank Bruno, we call him Franklin, to sign. And I said, no. What it was an option contract, that in the event he wanted to go pro, Burt McCarthy would have the first option. I said, no. That won't happen. He should stay free. He said, well, Frank wants to do this. I said, he's not in a position to do this, Mr. McCarthy. Because although it was 1980, Bruno wouldn't be, this is around about sometime in September time. Yeah. Bruno wouldn't be 18 until the 5th of November. And I knew that. I knew it was against the law for him to sign a contract until he was 18. Yeah. So anyway, the story, the thing broke up, and Burt McCarthy was out the picture. He was behind the scenes, still trying to. The bottom line is that Terry Lawless. I met with Terry Lawless, who got through to me. Promises were made to me, all the bits and bits. So he signed with Terry Lawless. And then, of course, it emerged that he did go back and meet up with Burt McCarthy and sign that piece of paper. And Burt McCarthy, from that piece of paper, was able to gain £250,000 just for signing that, as to set up out-of-court settlement. Oh, wow. Just for that piece of paper. Oh, yes.
So he took advantage of him?
No, it was a straight business deal. I don't blame Mr. McCarthy. Oh, okay. Don't blame him at all. No, far from it. The bottom line is simply this. Frank Bruno at that time was I don't know, was wrapped up in. The bottom line was that, okay, I become surplus to requirement then. I managed to be able to take court action against Terry Lawless for a breach of contract, because Terry Lawless had paid me up to nearly about £9,000 at the time, as means of towards introductory fee, and I would get, when the money started being made, I would get a percentage or what have you. Of course, I had nothing in writing. It was a gentleman's agreement, nothing. Bottom line was that I managed to get him to court. And the only way they could have won the case was to get Frank's elder brother, Michael, who is unfortunately passed on now, to lie and say that he had the fight. Michael was his brother. There's no doubt at all about that. But when it came to the boxing matters, everybody in the boxing world knew Al Hamilton was the man who took care of Frank Bruno's business. And Frank Bruno said it on a number of platforms since. But that was it. He was young. He wanted to make a name for himself, and I've forgiven him because we've met with him and his mother, and he's asked me for his forgiveness, and that is passed and gone before her eyes closed. But so whatever he went on to achieve, he deserves it because Frank Bruno wasn't a natural. He worked very, very hard at getting what he got.
Yeah.
He didn't have a natural rhythm like a Lennox Lewis or that kind of fluidity. He was a programmed individual, but he worked very, very. He was given a fantastic physique by the living God, and he worked with that. So yes, I was very pleased for him.
Did you ever think about being a boxing promoter?
No.
Okay.
Never dawned on me to be anything. It is one of the most insidious kind of business that anybody would want to get into. I think professional boxing, and we're seeing it played out now in Saudi Arabia with these mega millions being paid. In fact, tonight there's a big fight over there with Anthony Joshua and Francis Ngannou and Joseph Parker against Zhale Zhang and so forth. It has become a circus, a money circus. You're dealing with human beings. You got to remember that when you go in that ring, somebody can get seriously damaged.
Yeah.
So, I never liked that side of it. I didn't like the shady side of it that goes on. The side where the fighters are getting their dues deserved now, and rightly so. But in my time when I was around the scene, Mickey Duffs and these guys, they were like gods. Fighters used to tremble before them. I remember, if Mickey Duffs talk, they shake. That sort of thing. I remember Mickey Duff telling a female journalist from the Coventry Gazette or whatever it was. She went into the dressing room. Maurice Hope was fighting Luigi Minchilo at Wembley. Pat Cowdell was also on the bill, and they were from up in Worcester. And the bottom line is that he had banned any press to come inside the dressing room. And she sneaked in and was trying to get a quote from Pat Cowdell, and he came back and saw her. And we were all, hanging around outside. And I heard Mickey Duff tell her, "You realize that I can get you to lose your effing job? Do you know who I am?" And she was there quivering like I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
And she was just shaking. Sorry, Mr. Duff. These guys carried some serious weight, and they had some massive influences over fellow human beings. That aspect of the business I didn't like.
Yeah.
And there was also the aspect of the business where you weren't given the same opportunity like the white fighter who they were pushing for. Let's face it. If you have a fighter that's selling you 3,000-4,000 tickets, and he happens to be white, he's a West Ham supporter or whatever, and you have a black fighter who has man and his dog coming to the show, you're going to protect your financial interests.
Yeah.
So you make sure that young man gets all the training, and you bring in the black fighter at late notice and so forth. And then there were mismatches. Frankie Lucas was mismatched against Willie Monroe when he was busted up quite badly. So you get all of those anomalies, and I didn't like that side of it. I found it very, very. What I did enjoy was some of the characters, people like the Nassim Hamed. I remember meeting up with Nassim Hamed when he was 12-year-old kid up in Birmingham, up in Sheffield. Went up to watch him box. Harold Graham was boxing a guy called Chris Christian. Went up to cover that fight. And he was there, smashing bomber. When the fight is over, he saw me and said, "Where are you from? What are you doing here?" I said, "Oh, were you newspaper? Oh, I'm going to be world champion, Don't forget, you'd write about me." And there he was. And years later, at a press conference, much longer, Duke McKenzie and himself were on the same bill. He was fighting for the European title, and Duke was fighting for, I think, an eliminator for the world title, whatever it was, or defending. And he was talking about his own prowess and how good he was. And he looked in the audience, saw me, and he said, "That man knows how good I am. He saw me from I was a young boy. I told him a long time ago I'm going to be world champion." So that was Nazi Mohammed. And then, of course, I had a very good relationship with Lennox Lewis. And so, yes, that aspect of the game I liked. I have a great reverence. I have a great respect for fighting men. I think what they do is very, very noble. I couldn't do it. It's a tough business.
What would you say was your best boxing match that you've been to?
Now that would be very, very difficult to isolate, Juliet. There's so many different incidents, so many cases.
Very diplomatic, Al. Very diplomatic. I like that.
No, not being diplomatic. There's so many, Azuma Nelson. I've been able to meet up with the great Azuma Nelson in Ghana. As I said, the Maurice Hopes of this world, the Lennox Lewises, Kirtland Lang, Lord Honeygan, so forth. So there've been so many. To isolate one would be a miss. John Conte, who in the early days, who I had a good relationship with. So yes, I've been very fortunate. I look back on my life, on my career. I've been very fortunate. I was there at the right time, the right place, the right time, and the community got behind me and supported me in terms of with the awards and with the issues, anything that I was sort of doing. So yes, I'm very, very pleased. And what I hope for, this is the baton for your generation, Juliet, and the generation that follows you. I'm looking forward to the days before my eyes are closed, when some youngster who's gone on to university or something like that will do a definitive history of those of us who came.
Yeah.
Because it is one hell of a story. It's one hell of a story. And I remember the words of when I went to the High Court and when the judge said, Al Hamilton deserves credit for all of these things, but you can't give him no money because there's a question mark as to whether he was the one who, or it was Michael Nesbitt who influenced him going to Terry Lawless. I remember the words of Miss Bryan when she used to quote, make her many quotes, and this quote is from the play Othello, with the English playwright who was regarded as the bard, William Shakespeare. The only thing he wrote about black people, and that was in Othello. And the scene is with Othello when he says, "Money, who steals my pearls steals trash. 'Tis something yet nothing 'twas mine, 'tis his, and has been for thousands. But he who filches from me my good name robs me of that which not enriches him and makes me poor." They might have robbed me of the money, but they weren't going to rob me of my good name.
Hey.
That stays intact. And I'm pleased and I'm honored to be honored, because I'm here in Jamaica now in my twilight years, I have my health issues and so forth.
Yeah.
But the amount of people who still keep in touch with me, the amount of people who still call me and say, "Al, thank you."
Yeah.
That for me is riches.
It means much more.
That for me is like £1 million. Because I did make a mark. I made a contribution.
But you did.
And whether they like me or they loathe me.
Yeah.
But they cannot ignore me.
No.
And they will never be able to erase the contribution that I made in that society.
No, I know you made a lot.
So that's basically
Al, I want to take you back to the Commonwealth Sports Award. How long does it take for you to prepare from the start to the actual day? The preparation.
You're looking at as soon as that event is over, you're on the next one.
Okay.
That's basically, if you want to do it properly. There's no other way. I mean, I've thrown the gauntlet down to my peers, and I'm saying, hold on a minute. The Commonwealth Sports Awards was a template.
Yeah.
There should be awards in England, right? There should be awards for sports, for music, for the arts, for all the contributions that we've made.
Yeah.
I make no apologies about that.
Not at all.
The only thing I will say is do it well. That's the benchmark. The Commonwealth Sports Awards is the benchmark.
Mm-hmm.
That's the level. If you want to come and promote, you're going to do it better than that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's the benchmark.
Mm.
Because we took those things, those events from the town halls. And I'm saying, hold on. When I went to dinner boxing and shows and other, got invited, and I'm saying, hold on. Why is it then that the indigenous people are enjoying these benefits? Why can't my people enjoy this too? What's wrong with them? They have their money. They can pay to come. So I'm going to put something on, but I'm going to put it on at these places. Royal Lancaster Hotel, you get me, the Hilton, that level. That's where we're going to be, because we have a right to be there also.
Al, what would you say was the most standout time or moment for you with the awards?
Oh God, again, so many. But I will speak about an incident one evening where we honored Bob Beamon, the American long jumper who broke the world record, because we had an international category after a while. And Bob came in and was gracious, extremely gracious, no problem at all. He was no hassle. And we had a situation where Beamon was on stage, collected his awards, and all of a sudden, I can't remember who it was, somebody ran out. I was out in the passage area sorting out something, whatever. So I said, Al, you wanted inside, you want something, what's gone wrong, And as I broke the corner to come in, I heard Bob Beamon say, where's Al? Where's Al? So I said, come on, he wants me on the stage. So I got up, I'm saying, what's wrong here? He said, no, nothing is wrong, Al. I think you deserve this, not me. So he gave me his award, and I still have that award. I still have that award up to today. That's the only thing that I have in terms of a segment like that. And that was a special moment. That I really that was really chuffed by that. It knocked me for six,
That's really
and
nice.
he was such a gracious man.
Yeah.
Another incident that stood out, again at the Royal Lancaster Hotel, and this is in 1990. We had Roger Miller. We brought in Roger Miller, who just starred at the 1990 World Cup in Italy for Cameroon, scoring goals and doing all this. Anyway, long and short is we were able to get him in through the High Commission. So Miller is in the hotel with his captain, Stephen Tata. And then I got a call that there's a gentleman upstairs who wants to talk to me. Oh, my goodness. A night like that, I don't want to talk to many people. So, okay, what is it? Run upstairs. Oh, I am so-and-so. I am Roger's agent. I said, I don't know about the agent. Roger came here through the High Commission. Well, I will tell you that if Roger doesn't get £3,000, he will not be coming to the show.
Okay.
So I looked at him and said, okay, man, fair enough. I just left him. Because Roger Miller, I'm paying the bill for Roger Miller to staying at the hotel.
Yeah.
He and his captain. So if he's going to take up that bill, that's up to him. And along the short of it is that, I don't know, about half an hour or so before the champagne reception and that started, the High Commissioner, the representative from America, man called Mr. Tower, I never forget it, very, very diminutive man, came in and, oh, Mr. Hamilton, is everything all right? I said, well, I don't know, because I was told earlier on that gentleman came here to say he's the agent for Roger, and he might not be coming into the function tonight. So he said to me, where is Roger now? So I said, I think he's when I saw him last, was sitting out in the reception area and chatting with the gentleman. He said, okay, I will sort it out. Come with me. And then he comes with him. All I heard him say was, La Presidente! And from he said that, I see Roger jump up, and within 15 minutes, Roger Miller was dressed and into that hall.
Al, we're coming up to that all important community break. And when we come back, we're going to talk some more, yeah?
Okay, lovely, not a problem.
Welcome back to Spilling the Tea to Juliet G on supremefmlive.ning.com. If you're just tuning in, welcome. I'm currently in conversation with my guest, Mr. Al Hamilton, MBE, founder of the Commonwealth Sports Awards. Now, Al, can you list the many countries you've hosted the awards, the Commonwealth Sports Awards at?
Right. We've hosted, obviously, the UK is our base.
Mm-hmm.
We've hosted in Glasgow, Scotland twice.
Mm-hmm.
We've hosted in Ghana twice. We've hosted in Uganda, Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica, and St. Lucia.
Mm. Okay. Al, the countries that you hosted the awards at, what countries would you say wasn't financially viable back in the day?
Well, you got to remember, Juliet, that most of these countries are developing countries, so they have to walk a tight rope.
Mm.
There's the opposition political party who could say, well, okay, how are you using money now to have an event like this when we don't have any water or don't have no roads or no lights?
Mm.
So we've always worked on a premise where we seek commercial sponsorship. So government would provide us with the infrastructure, the venue, probably protocol cars and so forth. And then we would go through we would secure through an agency or in the case of like in Uganda, Uganda, St. Lucia, and Ghana, I went out and did the legwork to secure sponsorship. Telecom company in Uganda, for example, we had MTN, the big mobile company. They became our major sponsors, and they helped us, so forth. So yes, it's never ever easy, and a lot of these events are not. You don't charge. It's like. It's a benevolence. The Ministry of Sport or whatever is saying, well, listen, we're hosting this event. So St. Lucia was very, very, and they roll out the stops. I must respect the then Deputy Prime Minister, Mr. Mario Michel. He embraced it, got it through cabinet. And they went to the extra mile, and we had some bumpy patches in St. Lucia, but he stood by me. He believed in the concept of the event, and we pulled this off. And in fact, I will send you. I'll let you share with you. I think I actually did send. Did I not send you the actual awards in the? Did I not send it to you? Did you not get a copy of the event?
Yeah. I mean, I was at one of your events in Jamaica.
No. Yes, you came to the one in Jamaica. No, I'll send you because I still have the recording of the one from St. Lucia, and that was a very good show.
Is that the one with Michael McFarlane?
Mike McFarlane, Colin McMillan. We took about what? Mm-hmm. About 25 persons out of the UK came down for that.
That's right. I've seen that,
half of the BU was that. So, yeah, that was a very special, and especially with losing Mike last year, that was a very special event. I look back on it now and, I get very emotional.
Yeah.
Mike McFarlane was a nice guy. Mike McFarlane was a was a hell of a guy, and he didn't get he didn't get his due deserts. You know, he was treated badly by the athletic people in England. Again, I don't want to go down the road on that, but there you go.
Yeah.
May he rest in peace.
Amen. Yeah, he wasn't given his dues, and he's such a humble guy. I mean, I interviewed him the year before. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
You know, and that was.
People seem to forget that Mike McFarlane, the late Mike McFarlane,
Yeah.
was the man who was like the bodyguard, the guy who would stood up and look after Seb Coe when Sebastian Coe was just a young runner coming into the English fold. When he was go abroad, you know, these American guys would be promoting, hey, you guys, you know, Brits, you got Mike McFarlane must say, no, don't take no liberties.
Yeah.
You get me? Something like that. So Mike McFarlane is, you know, for me, meant a hell of a lot. You know, he stood up, and I will say this, and I couldn't care less if Lord Coe or the president of Royal Athletics take umbrage to it. It's the truth. He should have treated Mike a little bit. He should have given Mike a proper role within British athletics. He deserved it. From a personal standpoint and from a professional standpoint, Mike McFarlane was a damn good coach, and they didn't utilize. And I think part of his demise was he died of a broken heart.
Yeah, may his soul rest in peace. Al, I want to cast your mind back to 1987. You organised a football tournament between the Black British football players and the Jamaican national team. What made you decide to do that?
Patriotism, nothing else. Nothing. That was what did it. It was our 25th anniversary of independence. I mean, some people question whether we have been independent or not, but that's another issue. That's for another debate. I came to Jamaica as per normal. My late mother was still alive then. I'd make a number of visits, sometimes twice a year, sometimes 3 times a year. And I met up with the then chairman of the Institute of Sport, a man called, he's now passed on. A lot of these people have all gone left me, you know. Vivian Rochester. Through a friend of mine, a man called Willie Yap. He's also passed on. A very good friend of Mike McCallum, the first Jamaican to win a boxing title. In fact, I think he's the first Jamaican after independence in the region to win a world title. And we got talking, and he said, "Well, you know, Hamilton, hey man, I read your book, man, Black Pearls of Soccer. It would be great if you could get some of these players to come down here and do something with her, you know, as a fundraiser, whatever." So I thought, he said, "Well, you must can do something, man. You know these guys." So, well, I'll see what I can do, Honorable. See what we go. So anyway, I went back to England, spoke with John Barnes, spoke with Ricky Hill, Bob Hazel, a few of the guys, and they liked it. They're all Jamaican. They said, "Yeah, this, you know," the bottom line though was that, you had to get permission from the clubs, and the Football Association had to also give its blessing on it, because it was what it was regarded, and they don't allow it anymore. What is regarded as a scratch team. So you can have a team like Liverpool or Man United or Man City or whatever touring, but you can't have a player from West Ham, Man City, Man United put together as a team, is what they call a scratch team. They won't allow it anymore. Anyway, we were able to convince the FA that this is a one-off, this is a special occasion, and they allowed it. Now, having done that, we had to go back to the clubs now. What about the insurance? Now, Jamaica didn't have the money to insure the players. So we had to convince the management and what have you. So the bottom line, it was quite a tedious thing. We got it over the line. We were able to get the clubs, Watford, John Barnes and Luther Blissett took care of that. Manchester City took care of Dave Bennett. Luton took care of Ricky Hill, etc., etc. So they were covered by their insurance and all the bits and pieces. They came out and they won 4-2 against the national side. But the amazing thing about it is this, was when I when I came back, though, if we came and we had a great time, and the stadium was packed out. I mean, I've had various figures of 22,000, 25,000, 28,000. You believe whichever one you want to believe, because it all has to do with revenue.
Absolutely.
And I came back, and when I was coming through, nothing to declare. As soon as I sort of broke the corner now to come out to meet where the people are going to meet and greet you, a man stepped out of the shadows and just said, "Excuse me, I'm customs." So I said, "Could you stand aside? Where are you coming from?" So I said, "Coming from Jamaica." He said, "What have you got in your luggage?" I said, "The normal stuff, rum and bits and pieces like that." He said, "What were you doing in Jamaica?" I said, "We went to a football." Football? And yes. I said, "Yes, we're down there, Ricky Hill, John Barnes, rest of these guys." "Oh, you mean that team? That team?" No. "How did it go?"
Yeah.
I said they won 4-2. Now the big thing was, can you imagine if these guys had come out here, these professionals?
Yeah.
They'd only come together. They only came together in the same week. We flew in on the Tuesday.
Yeah.
The match was played on the Sunday. So they had 2 little training sessions together. And they were playing against a national side who were playing all along.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So, and they won 4-2. It was no easy push, but they won. They pulled it off. Can you imagine what the British press would have said if they'd come out and they'd lost?
Oh.
Huh?
It wouldn't have been
Professionals come out to Jamaica and being beaten by, third
scratch
world.
card. Scratch card team,
So,
you mean?
yes, you got it. We were hell bent. We sat in. We said, "Gentlemen," I said, looked at them and said, "Gentlemen, not only are your careers on the line, our reputation as a people is on the line here now. We got to go. We can't lose this game." So we won.
Al, were you worried?
And of course they did.
Were you worried at any point that they could get injured?
But we did have an injury. We did have Ricky Hill. Ricky Hill suffered an injury the first training session, and some insect or whatever bit him on his right foot, right toe.
Okay.
And it blew up quite big and was black and blue and all of that. Luckily, we were able to find a local doctor who, knew what this thing was, and he lanced it. And the long and the short of it is that he was able to play. He didn't play the full 90 minutes, but he was able to come on and play. So we did have, yes, we had little hiccups and things like that. But no, I had every confidence. Listen, these are professional players. They had their own pride. It was, they're professional.
Yeah.
And yes, the Jamaican team they're playing, to represent their flag. It was a national flag. However, and at the after party or after reception or whatever you call it, the captain of this Jamaica team, a fellow named Howie Bell, he said they presented me, in fact, with a watch.
Oh.
Because the game was played on my birthday, which is June the 28th. So the guys put together and bought a watch for me and all of that, and they made a big fuss of me. I didn't even know that was going to happen.
Oh.
And Howie Bell, in his acceptance speech, said, in his thank you, said, "I want to thank Mr. Hamilton, and I want to thank the players for coming down." And it's resonated with me up to now. He said, "Just sharing the pitch with them will make us better players."
Oh.
And that was in, and if you might recall, Jamaica then went on, and I'm not saying that, but then Jamaica, some of those same players, and we utilized some of those players who were able to come and to represent Jamaica, and we went on to the World Cup, didn't we? There you go.
Excellent.
So as the saying goes, from little acorns grow mighty oaks.
Absolutely, 100%, as they say. Now, Al, did any of the players, did anybody refuse you?
No, nobody. I got great support. John Fashion and all of these guys. I'll give you another little tidbits.
Go ahead.
Got a call got a call at the hotel from John Fashion. Sorry, no, it was a message. John Fashion who called. He got injured playing, I can't remember which game he was playing against, and damaged his foot. He sent his apologies, won't be there for the awards. I thought, oh my goodness, whatever. Forgot everything about it. This is about, I don't know, 5 o'clock or something like that. Champagne reception is about 7 o'clock, 7:30, then dinner and so forth. And now my head is into getting the show, I don't relax. I can't relax until after the awards is out the way. On the first record play, then I can start to talk to people and socialize. Before that, I'm a difficult individual to deal with because I'm only focused on one thing, on getting that show proper, getting it done right.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm standing outside now, getting a little bit of a breather. People are having dinner now, and everything is kind of calmed down now. And I have another half an hour, 40 minutes in which I can tidy up any little things, loose ends. And I hear pum, pum, pum coming down the stairs. So all of a sudden the door's open, and it's John Fashion with this big plaster on his foot and on crutches with 2 other guys with him. And he comes in. Don't think I was going to let you down, baby. Fashion already. And yeah, that was the kind of spirit. And so we arranged a couple of chairs for him to put his foot on and all that sort of thing. But those kind of things, when I look back on those kind of memories, those are things that money can't buy.
Yes.
100%. It just came out in this.
Al,
it was just good.
Al, you have passed. Like you mentioned about passing on the baton, but have you actually passed on the baton to anyone to host the Commonwealth Sports Awards?
No, they're free to do that. They don't have to call it the Commonwealth Sports. The Commonwealth Sports Awards
it's just a template.
Was an entity. It's dead and gone. It's done its time.
Oh, okay.
It's like yesterday did its time. There are enough human beings, there are enough qualified people in the UK to be able to put on events of stature, events that make us feel good. I mean, I remember another incident where a lady wanted to come to the Commonwealth Sports Awards. She called me up, Mr. Hambleton, my husband have cancer, and but he would have loved to meet. In hero is Clive Lloyd, the cricketer. I knew Clive was going to be there. Clive again is another person, a very good friend, and Sir Clive, and of course he's going to be given an award by CARICOM in July for his services to West Indies cricket. A bit late, but better late than never. And so she said, is he going to be at the awards? I said, Madam, I don't sell the tickets. The event isn't sold on the basis that John Barnes is going to be there, Ricky Hales, and so. It's an event, there'll be various sports personalities there. I said, however, I can tell you, John, Clive will be there, barring any accident. I said, you can set up a little. I said, when you come, lovely, you can. Anyway, long and the short is it, he wanted a picture with his idol, Clive Lloyd. So when the thing was out the way, I managed to be able to get Carl Pike, one of the young ladies who helped me, to arrange a photograph between herself and Sonia Thomas, and they got it done. I think nothing more of it. The evening was finished. The evening is out the way now. I'm greeting people, saying goodbye and whatever like that. And I saw this lady standing aside, very buxom lady with this little gentleman beside her. And after everybody, so she come over and say, thank you, Mr. Hambleton. I'm the lady this is like, was it just a Roger or whatever. And she just grabbed me, in this embrace, her bosom, I was engulfed by her bosom, in this bear hug. Thank you, sir, with tears streaming down her eyes.
Oh.
What was so amazing about that? He died 3 months later.
Oh, that's sad.
She called me to tell me that he died. But he died a happy man because he was able to get a picture with his idol. Now, for me, I was able to give her something that money couldn't give her.
Exactly.
The event was able to do that. And these guys were prepared. If I say, Clive, I need a portrait, yeah, no problem, Al. You get me? Same with Fashion Wood, same with John Barnes, whatever. So, no. In answer to, to the question, none of these individuals, Ian Wright, none of them ever thought themselves too good. And Paul Davis, the late David Rocastle, they were always there on hand to give a hand. And I applaud them, and I give great respect for them for that.
Al, you're truly leaving a phenomenal legacy. Now, if people were going to describe the awards, what sort of things have you heard them say about the Commonwealth Sports Awards?
Oh, all right. I will use one anecdote to describe the situation. I'm coming down with two young men who I did a little bit of mentoring. That's part of the thing I did, but behind the scenes, at schools and things like that. And I was taking them back down to catch their bus or whatever to go where they're going, down in Brixton. And we're walking along Railton Road. And I'm coming down with them, have a little chat and what have you. Just finished a little kick around up at Brockwell Park. And I'm coming through with these two guys. I'm in the middle of it. And I reached to a group of guys, and one man shouted out, "Make some way, the man. So the grandfather of awards coming through." No, that about sums it up. If people felt proud, if people felt good, if it made people felt comfortable in their skins, it's not going to be on my tombstone, because I've already told my family and my people, I don't want to be buried. I want to be cremated. I want my ashes to be thrown where I came from, by the seashore. I want it to be lapping up where the waves are breaking. That's where I've requested that. I've made sure that there's enough insurance in place, whatever, to be able to cover or else I don't want to be no burden to nobody.
Yeah.
But if when I'm dead and gone and people say Al Hamilton, and they say, well, okay, yes, Al Hamilton might have had a little bit of a temper. Al Hamilton might have been difficult at times. Whatever, I can say what I want to say about me.
Yeah.
If they don't say Al Hamilton, he did his best. He tried his best at the time. That'll be enough. That will be enough for me. I will go with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Have you written your autobiography yet? Because it would be such a shame with
No,
your...
I don't think I'll do an autobiography. I did the ebook which you were quoting some things from,
Okay.
Frostbites and Fingertips, which you got a copy of.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, that was it. That's I'll stop there. I've been approached by various people to do various things. There's an old saying: "It is time for me now to satter. I've done my bit."
Mm-hmm.
You see, there's an old. If you watch, when you reach a stage, if you're a racehorse, when you've done if you're the great Shergar or you're Frankel or whatever, when you're finished, they turn you either go out to stud, or then you're then put out in a pasture for you to just spend the rest of your days roaming around and enjoying the scenery.
Mm-hmm.
Hamilton is doing that now. He's just enjoying the last few days, few months, 2 years, whatever is his life, giving thanks, looking back on the people who shared the journey with me. There were good times, there were bad times, but life is like a plane ride. There are bumps along the way.
Yeah.
So you got to just accept it. And I'm at peace. I'm at peace with myself. I really am. I still have lots of very good friends. I still keep in touch with people at home, and I'm looking to come back in the summer, depending on how much my mobility will allow me, and probably someone will come up with me and so forth. So yeah. In England, I've spent over 50 years in the UK.
Yeah.
England, I became a man in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
All of my adult life has been in England. So I can't turn my back on that. It is my heritage, it's my history.
Mm. Al, we're actually coming up. We're coming up to the last community break, and when we come back, we'll round up. Welcome back to the last segment of the show, Spilling the Tea to Juliet G on supremefmlive.ning.com. I'm in conversation with my special guest, Mr. Al Hamilton, MBE, founder of the Commonwealth Sports Awards. Al, this is the last segment of the show, and I'm sure you must be well exhausted. We don't have
Funny
much.
enough, I'm not, funny enough, Juliet, I'm not exhausted. I'm quite rejuvenated. You've sort of, woke up the demons
Well,
in an old man.
I didn't want to say that I have that effect on people.
Well, yes, you did. You did very well. And I'm pleased for you. I'm happy. I'm happy for you and your show, and long may it continue.
Do you know what, Al? I feel really honoured that, having you on the show, even talking about the Commonwealth Sports Awards. I mean, it brings back a lot of many fond memories. I've been to many events here and abroad. When you went to Jamaica, that was...
That's right.
That was very eventful. Now, Al, the question I'd like to ask you, how would you like people to remember you?
That's a difficult one. But basically speaking, if they just remember what I tried to do, it's not, I don't want to be given, listen, there are people, I know of a lady, right? She did 34 years. This is I met her in Birmingham because, I did the Commonwealth Sports Awards in Birmingham, and I've had a good association with Birmingham as a second city. But I can tell you, she worked, as a lollipop lady.
Yeah.
Yes. For some 30 odd years in Birmingham. And she was able to do that job winter, summer, spring, or fall. And she was happy to do that for 34 years. Unsung hero.
Yeah.
No, she never flinched. She would see children that she took across that pedestrian crossing, grew up to become parents themselves, crossing the same pedestrian crossing that she. Now, for me, that's a hero.
Yeah.
Al Hamilton, what Al Hamilton did pales into insignificance with someone like that. That kind of dedication, because what was she getting? No fancy salary, no nothing. She was just out there doing a job of work that she enjoyed doing, but her skills, her ability allowed her to do that. And when the local community up there did a function for her, I was honored to be able to go up and to be one of the guests. She said she wanted me to come up because she's been to the awards with her son. And to me, those are the heroes. The individuals who worked on the railways and the buses and what have you for 30, 25 years in and out, and to provide for their children. So if in terms of being recognized, yes, if I can be recognized with people like those are the heroes. And I believe, this is where I think passionately still, that these are the kind of people. It doesn't have to be just sports. It can be all the various segments of our community under one umbrella. I know they tried it some years ago, and it didn't come off very well. I know there was a problem with it at the Hilton Hotel. Again, some debacle took place. I don't want to, regurgitate that. But there is still a need. We've excelled in the world of music. We've excelled in the world of sport. We've excelled in the world of legal affairs. We've excelled in politics. We've excelled in television, in culture, in the arts. So come on, there's so many different things in education. And the so-called, I don't call them unsung heroes. I call them heroes. Forget the unsung, because they're heroes.
Yeah.
How do you quantify the contribution of that lady? May she rest in peace now, Miss Gwen. How do you quantify her contribution to British society, to that of a Rudy Narayan?
No
or
idea.
a Courtney Griffiths, or any one of the other individuals, luminaries who have come out of our society, be it in terms of the legal profession or football or whatever. How do you quantify her contribution to theirs? You can't quantify it, can you? A contribution is a contribution. She's
Exactly.
made her mark. They're lawyers, or they're footballers. They made it, then they made lots of money, whatever. She didn't, but she still made a contribution. And that, for me, is, I think that there should be more people like those should be given a night, an evening, when they're, given a pat on the back and say, listen, we appreciate you.
Absolutely. Al, now you received an MBE. When did you get it?
MBE was given in 2004.
Okay.
And I didn't, the funny thing about it, it's Frank Bruno's late mother who basically twisted my arm to collect that award, Because when the invitation came to the house, I just threw it down on because it didn't, to me, I did. I did. I just put it down on the desk and left it there. And I said to her, this thing has come true. And she said, well, you're not going to go. I said, Mrs. Bruno, it don't really matter. It's not going to make one difference to me being able to buy anything more or less or whatever.
Yeah.
She said, no, Mr. Bertie. No, because they all called me. My nickname in Jamaica before I came up was Bertie. So she said, no, Mr. Bertie, no, you need to go, because they wouldn't give it to you if you never did deserve it. Never forget her words. She said, you deserve it. Go get it.
Who came with you?
Again, that was another nice day. It turned out to be, I took Faye came along with me, Nigel, and my elder daughter, Arlene. And I can tell you something. It's a world apart, I'm glad I was able to go and to experience, and I actually got my award from the late Queen Elizabeth II. Just going into those hallowed halls, those, the chandeliers, the drapes, the paintings, you just taste power, you taste history, you taste empire. I don't know. You taste every damn thing in one. You really do. You really do. It is one hell of an experience. And then, of course, to follow the various protocols that you're not supposed to turn your back on Her Majesty. You have to take 3 steps back and then walk away.
Oh, really?
And you don't speak to her, let Her Majesty speaks to you. And all of these grillings, you can see that these are traditions that have been well and truly rehearsed, centuries old. And they were just happy. And then, of course, we had photographs outside the palace, and all of them have got their pictures now on their various mantelpieces and what have you. So if it made them happy and they were pleased, then fine. And I appreciate it. And that was given to me through the Commonwealth Games Federation of Scotland. They're the ones who nominated me.
You. Yeah. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Now, Al, what do you do to relax?
I have a lot of time to do that now. I listen to music. I read quite a bit. I still try and keep up with what's happening. Yeah. Of course, I'm heavily into my sports still. I know about the boxing tonight in Saudi Arabia.
Are you going to be watching
I still keep up with the Premier League and the
Al,
Champions League.
Are you going to be watching the boxing?
No, I won't watch it because of the time difference and all of that. But I will certainly, get a look at some of the YouTube stuff and whatever, that sort of thing. And although I've never met Anthony Joshua, I would like to wish him all the best because I think I admire what he's done for his family. I've heard some negatives about Anthony, and I'm not going to repeat them here now.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see his management group, with a little bit more, with some color in it, to put it another way. There's no other way of putting it, more diplomatic. But I admired what he did for his family. He's built his house, hooked up to his mom and all of those things. This is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And he's carried himself with a level of dignity. So I hope that he can win tonight again, although he's up against a fellow brother, a Cameroonian, Francis Enago, and he will do well. He's done well. He's made his millions through fighting Tyson Fury. So I wish Anthony Joshua can get the opportunity to probably fight for a third world title. Ngannou can always go back to MMA and all of the bits. He's going to pick up 20 million for this fight. He got 10 before. So he never ever thought that he would have earned 30 millions within 6 months? Mm-hmm. He's fallen on his legs and arms and everything in one.
Now, Al, before I let you go, is there anything that you'd like to add?
No, just to say thank you. Oh. Thank you for taking time out to search out and make your contacts and do your research to find out where I am and to spend time to give me this opportunity. And thanks for those who listen. And I, again, as I said, I'm a product of a collectiveness. That's what I am. Al Hamilton could not have achieved what was done just by Al Hamilton alone. It took a collective force. Faye, I must mention Faye. Faye was very, very supportive of me. All the various people who are in my life, Debbie, Sonia, they all know who they are, Ronnie Hines and so forth. It's all been various people at various stages. They all contributed to make the story, the narrative, what it is. So all I can say is a big thank you.
Thank you. No, Al, it has been such a pleasure speaking to you and, taking us through your journey from JA to the UK and back to JA again and hopefully back to the UK and being so open and honest.
But I can't be anything other than that. This is what I've always been, Juliet, and it's too late for me to change now at 81 years old. Mm-hmm. It ain't going to change. But but I take some solace in I also like I also listen to a lot of music, and I listen to a lot of great lyrics. And as the saying goes, lovely, we come and go like the bubbles on a stream. That's all we do. Mm-hmm. We're here, we make a contribution, and then we're no longer here anymore. Mm-hmm. So I'm at peace with myself now. If it is that the bigger man says, well, listen, you're in the departure lounge zone tomorrow or tonight or today, this is your flight details, I will gladly go with a happy heart. I'm at peace with myself. Oh, I really am.
That is good.
And I'm looking forward to coming back, spend a couple of months or whatever up there. For my condition, I can't take the cold anymore. My immune system is broken down very badly. And of course, I have this mobility thing. So I'm under medical supervision here. So but that is what it is. I mean, I've had 81 years of life. Mm-hmm. I can't be more than be grateful for it.
Well, we hope that you come over very soon and the weather improves over here so that you can come over,
Well, I'm hoping to come between June, July, that sort of time, the summertime. So, it should be at least not so inclement. So I should be able to survive it.
Excellent.
Juliet, it's been a pleasure.
It has been a pleasure. Yeah, and you take care, Al, and I'll speak to you very, very soon.
All the best now.
Yeah,
take care now.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye-bye. That, ladies and gentlemen, was Mr. Al Hamilton. And, yet again, thank you so much. And I'm sure the listeners will agree with me that this was so informative and what a legacy he is definitely leaving. So, coming up next, we have our very own LaJ till 2 p.m. So stay tuned for the Saturday show rundown. Now, if you're not already following me on the gram, it's Spilling the Tea to Juliet G, where you'll get show updates, notifications about the show, and also if you've missed parts of the show, check out Mixcloud. And if it has cut out, check out Mixcloud, and you'll get No interruptions. So just check out Mixcloud Juliet G, where the shows will be uploaded, and please press the follow button as you will get notified as I upload the shows. Now remember, as I say, tomorrow is not promised. Have a fabulous start to your weekend. Be kind to others and make a difference to other people's lives. Kindness doesn't cost nothing, nor does your smile. People tend to act the way that they do because of the past experiences. Be that person who touches the lives and hearts of others. Be a positive light and put a smile on their face. It's not what you say that matters, but it's how you make them feel that stays in people's memories. So, as I say, have a blessed day, have a safe day, and make it an absolutely spectacular day. Whoever you choose to spend it with, take care and stay blessed. And as I say, hashtag spilling the tea, hashtag Juliet G.
Here's what I'd like to do. I wanna kiss you until I feel your body melt. I wanna touch you until you tell me how good it felt. I wanna love you, baby, until the hunger turns to greed. I wanna be there, baby, until I satisfy your needs. I like what you do to me. It's body fusion. Feels so good. Energy. It's body fusion. Like I knew it would. Give it to me. It's body fusion. Feels so good to me. Ooh, it's body fusion. But you're thrilling me with the sounds you keep making. It's plain to see you got my body aching. I'm trembling, baby. There ain't no illusion of this passion and game. Girl, it's body fusion. I like what you do. Do it to me. It's body fusion. Do it to me. So take your time when you do it. And your energy. It's body fusion. It's body chemistry. I said I like what you do. Do it to me. It's body fusion. Like what you do to me.
There's no need